We're back, wherever this is, and I say we, it's just me now. Uh, Hopefully, when this is over, me and Naki can get back in the gym and make so much better videos. Although I'm enjoying these, it's a way of me giving this information doesn't require a gym setup. Please give feedback if they are useful at all. This is from the Discord chat that we've currently got going on. If you're interested, please jump in on that. There's been some good ideas. I must have about 30 videos I want to make. I'm going to be busy. If you have any questions on anything I've done, anything you want to know, any discussion on any of the videos I'm making, please go on there. The link will be at the bottom of this video in the description. So one of the questions that was asked on the Discord channel is, how do you come back to jiu-jitsu after a long layoff, which in theory is going to be all of us. I'm slightly warping it for this video in that I want to talk about, I want to go do a few videos on the jiu-jitsu journey. So I see jiu-jitsu as a personal string for each person. So that then discounts whether that person is a 20-year-old young gun who has got aspirations for ADCC or MMA or whatever, and a 55-year-old hobbyist who just wants to have a scrap at the end of the day. How do you create a standard for such a wide range of people? And so it helps to have this idea of a string. And the string just changes colour as you go along it, so I don't like seeing the belts as goals necessarily. I like to see them as waypoints on this one long singular strand. And so this video is about the white to blue belt part of the journey, and as it fades into that new colour. So throughout human history, throughout time and space and different styles, we've always had grappling. We've always tried to find a way of throwing the other person to the ground and mauling them. Doesn't matter if it is Viking Glima or Japanese Jiu-Jitsu or Judo or Greco-Roman wrestling or catch or whatever. We've always grappled. And there's always been techniques that have kind of transcended time and space. And so there must be then laws that dictate grappling, laws of combat. And I think there are. And so my job as a coach to a new person is to try and get across these laws so they understand what is happening to them. Because the worst part when you're a beginner is just getting punished repeatedly. It's going to happen anyway. But it's easier to deal with jiu-jitsu if you know why. And so my goal then within those first few formative months is to shape them with these laws and make them a vessel that then they can accept jiu-jitsu and learn the techniques of jiu-jitsu and understand why the techniques are there and why these techniques exist. So if you imagine a graph then of, if this is defensive ability and this is time, I want it to be like this. I want the defensive ability to go up very, very fast. Over time, this will happen. There'll be a slight downturn. And that downturn is them learning more attacks, learning basic attacks and basic guards, etc. And throwing stuff and then getting caught. And I want to make this as small as possible. I want them to not get sucked into the game of just trying to win all the time, but understand if they throw an attack and it doesn't work, why it didn't work, and why, and so they can fix it as fast as possible. Because if you have such a severe drop here, that's when people become disillusioned and they just want to quit. And then they go away and they have to learn so much. They have to go buy DVDs or watch tons of videos and read books and have to learn hundreds of new passes, etc. It makes jiu-jitsu seem a lot bigger in that way. And so if you're a white belt watching this, what could I recommend then to help towards that blue belt and how my mentality could? Don't get sucked into the game of trying to learn loads of passes, trying to learn loads of attacks and think you need loads of different things from loads of different places. You don't. Try and understand why everything is as it is. Why does guard exist? Why does posture matter? Why do the submissions exist? Why is a choke a choke? Why does a joint submission work the way it does? Because it has to have come from somewhere. These weren't created by some deity and handed down to us. There's a reason for it all. And there are. I've probably talked about them many times in all my videos. Why passes exist, how a pass exists. As soon as you understand that, there shouldn't be really a guard that should catch you out. And so once you start to have that kind of input in your head of like why jiu-jitsu works the way it does, then you can start to become that vessel that can now learn jiu-jitsu, and that's what I think blue belt is. And so when I start to see my guys not get caught anymore, and they start to now start to throw shade, and then they retreat, and then they can cover, that's when I start looking at a blue belt, someone who I can just have a chat to and feel on the level with, someone who can explain to me why they just did what they did, and can tell me, I know I got caught in that because X, Y, and Z, even if they've never seen that before, never seen what they got caught in. I do intend to do a video soon on what I think a blue belt is, which will then add to this. I'm also going to do some videos on basic movements that I'd expect from a white belt, be it different postures, how to actually shrimp. That's one I'm really excited to do, and it's kind of gutting that I haven't been able to do it yet. How to cover, again, that's an important aspect. It's something that I've spoken about a lot in my videos, of how to think like a boxer, how to cover and how to attack and then recover again if you need to, instead of having to have a list of techniques to be able to defend an infinite number of attacks. But yeah, please go on the Discord channel, tell me what you thought of this one, ask more questions on this kind of white belt to blue belt journey. Yes, thank you for your time.